Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome back to another episode of the Blitz Village! Yay! Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Of course, I am. So, let's get rolling, shall we? Now, you might notice some things like, what the heck is going on over here? Well, we'll get to that in just a sec, because we, of course, need to first discuss your awesome image submissions for, of course, Blitz Village. So let's take a look at those first, shall we? So first up, we've got a submission from Just Joshua, I believe was his Twitter name, which was, I should have taken the actual Twitter handle. I apologize for that, dude. But he sent in the chicken robot, which looks awesome. I mean, he just sculpted it out to be like a chicken, and on the inside of it is actually chickens as well. So it's it's a chicken robot shaped like a chicken, containing chickens. It's chicken inception, I guess. It's like chicken inception stuff. Yeah. But other than that, we also got submissions from Mohammed Hefzi. Alia? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, dude. I really do apologize. But his submission was actually just his house from survival mode. So as you can see, that's pretty gosh darn good, considering that that's survival mode. It's much more difficult to be very kind of extravagant and built up crazy things when you're in survival mode, which is pretty gosh darn well done by him that he was able to pull that off in that particular game mode. And then the final person to have a submission is actually Quinn, who sent in a theater, which is very cool because I actually now have gotten an idea of how we can build a theater, which is something that we will definitely do on a future episode. I'm thinking probably somewhere over here or so, but we'll see how that goes. But as far as today's submission, let's get into it, shall we? So today's submission and what we're going to be working on for probably, I think, maybe the next 2 or maybe even 3 episodes, just because it is a quite ginormous project indeed. Of course, that was silence in order to create a little bit more tension. And that is, of course, a supermarket or a ginormous grocery store. The idea of it is that I want to make it so big it's kind of like a Costco or something like a Walmart scale, which is why it's so ginormous. This is going to be the entire store. It's not going to have a typical kind of a shape. It's going to have kind of different sections of the store and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty gosh darn cool indeed. This will be the whole store right here. It will be in between kind of the library, our CN Tower type look, or our skyscraper I should say, our bank, our police station, and our weapons shop. So it's kind of going to connect all those aspects in some way, which is pretty gosh darn cool indeed. Now, as far as the people who submitted and wanted me to assemble this, some of the people that I chose were the following: Joey Vanderheiden, who actually also said that, hey, you got to build a supermarket because where the heck are people going to get food from? So, of course, that's pretty important. So that's why we're going to assemble it, shall we? We've got Super Sushiel, which is a very, very cool name indeed. Next up is Kimberly Watkins, and to round out the list of 4, Jaquan Coleman. There we go. Bam, wham, bam. Now, another quick shout out that I wanted to give to a certain special viewer, and that is Matthew Petrella from Yonkers, New York, I believe. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching, dude, and I appreciate your amazing support. So, without further ado, let's get rolling, shall we? So I've assembled the walls in order to save ourselves that kind of troublesome time. And actually, once I've put in the doors here from kind of, I guess this would be something kind of almost like Main Street. Now that I've assembled the doors, I kind of feel like it's boring to just have one pathway. So what I want to do is actually go all the way around here and put in some more sets of doors so that we have kind of multiple entrances, you know, because I feel like for a supermarket, you know, that's kind of something that is very typical of a supermarket, is to have more than just one entranceway. So that's kind of what I want to do right now, real quick. I think that'll be pretty good right there. Bwam! Okay, bwam? Really? Did I just say bwam? But I think that looks pretty neato, so we will definitely kind of scale that around like so. Bam, bam! And I actually wanted to ask you guys something pretty cool, especially for those of you that are not in North America, because, or maybe actually in Mexico. I'm not sure about Mexico, how that works. So let me know. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is kind of how do your kind of grocery systems work. And what I mean by that is when I lived in Israel, like, we didn't have these ginormous grocers. Like, there would be supermarkets, but they weren't quite as big as what you see here. Like, there's nothing quite the size of a Walmart. I don't remember, at least at the time when I was living there was no Walmarts there. Maybe there is one now. But usually you would almost like shop at what was called a bazaar, which is a kind of like almost like a farmer's market. That's where you would typically get kind of fruits and things like that. Like, you could definitely go to a supermarket, but usually it would actually be a worse quality there. So I was wondering kind of if you guys could share what kind of stores and what kind of a shopping system there is at your native land. Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, also, guys, do not forget to leave your ideas for further ideas for, of course, Blitz Village. You could probably, you're best off to start leaving those on this episode. But again, I will... even though we're gonna, sorry, what I'm trying to say is, even though we're gonna be assembling this particular structure for probably the next few episodes, I'm still gonna obviously take a look at the submissions on this episode. So definitely, if you want to be featured on an episode down the line with a shout out and something like that, definitely voice your opinion here. And on top of all that, do not forget to also, of course, send in your awesome submissions for the Blitzwinger Twitter page, where you can get your awesome creation showcased, which those are always so mind-blowing. I honestly find you guys to be, in my opinion, the most creative community ever, because you guys just come up with the most amazing looking stuff ever, and I'm definitely going to do my best to try to showcase each and every single one of you at least once. Alrighties, guys? So, I think this might be pretty good. Now, what I want to do is actually on one of the sides of the place, maybe like right here, probably right here actually, because it's the much larger, lengthier entranceway. I would really like to spell foods on a logo kind of thing. So I don't know how I should do that. Should I, like, what I'm wondering is, should we maybe do like a white background, right? And then, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. But you sculpt out the entire background, right? So you do something along these lines. So let's see. Let's see how it looks, right? Might as well experiment. That's what it's all about. Experimentation is the key to life. Well, kind of. Not really. But you should try things. Of course, I'm not talking about like drugs and things like that. But you should try different things in life. Like different jobs, different opportunities, different things like that. Because that would is kind of what's going to lead you to pick the most interesting thing you can find. Because if you always just do one thing, first, it's going to get boring, and second of all, you're never going to know what it's like to try out other things. Alrighty, so I think I need to build that up about that way, right? To about that length. And then, of course, I also have to keep in mind how much space it's going to take, how many blocks it's going to take to actually spell the word out for food, or maybe foods, I should say. Maybe we should call it Blitz Foods. But that would be too many letters. That would be very, very difficult to spell out. I would have to make the word like across this side, because that would require a lot of space. Alright, so I think that might be enough. We'll see right now once I put the sides together, right? Whoops-a-daisy. There we go. Okay, so now I'll show you my idea here, of course. So this will build around, right? Like so, and then let's see, which kind of tile do we want to... I kind of wonder, what does this look like? Will that look cool? Or does that look cheap? I can't quite tell. Let's see. If I actually spell out the actual... Does that look good? Yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. I like it. It works well with those colors. Let's try to keep maybe... I don't know if there's going to be enough room for it, though. Let's say if I make that an O, then I make this an O. Ah, that's going to stink. That's not enough room. Because I still need to fit in a D in there. So, what if I were to do this, though? What if I were to make that letter like so? Then we make this our O. Right? You come all... Or maybe I shouldn't even come all the way down, right? Maybe I should just keep it like this. Right? F-O... Let's see what this looks like. If it looks horrible, we could always fix it, of course, right? That's the beautiful thing about Minecraft. Nothing is permanent. You could definitely... Well, unless if you're playing YOLOcraft, I guess, then you have permadeath. But otherwise, everything can be adjusted, which is really, really nice. And that's kind of the awesome component of creativity that you get to express in Minecraft. Okay, so I think that would look like a D, right? There we go! Look at that! That looks pretty boss. Actually, I think the F being longer would kind of set it apart, which is something cool, I think. There we go. I think that actually looks pretty neatos. Okay, so then we just built up this side of the wall. Same goes with this side. So we'll basically have kind of a couple of entrances, of course, as you could tell. I think you could tell by now, right? Even though that there's an entrance on the other side, there's also an entrance on this side. Just like you would typically have with like a really big chain. I know that you wouldn't say that for like a Walmart, because a Walmart doesn't have an entrance on both ways, right? It's different, obviously, but still, I think that this looks nice. So hopefully it will look nice when, and it's much more practical, honestly, to have entrances at two sides. Why not, right? So I kind of want to create a frame type look here. Hopefully that will look decent. Let's see. Yeah, I like how it just says food. It's like everybody will just see like ginormous food, and that's it. Let's go to food, bro. Let's go get some food at food. That's a little redundant, I guess. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we should put something on the inside as well. I don't even know. I'm thinking there should be something on the inside, right? Like something on here on this whiteboard. Maybe like some pictures or something, or prices, or I don't know. Or maybe like the special of the week. Bam! We've got apples on special or something like that. And you could get all the apples in the world that you would like to consume into your belly. And then you could say, get in my belly. Right? Okay, come on. Doing a little bit of assembly. Goodness gracious. Missing a lot, unfortunately. I do like this entrance too, kind of. It's kind of almost like secretive because you've got these really high walls. And then, it's like, hey, look at this little entrance. Bam! And then you walk into a giant store, which looks absolutely boss already, in my opinion. Of course, as we slowly but surely put it together, it's going to look much more boss. But, yeah, so far so good, I think. Okay, so, I think what I'm going to do is, in between episodes, I'll keep working on the walls. But for now, what we should do is start doing some of the floor work. And in order to do that, we need to pick what kind of floor we even want to be working with. So, when you think of a Walmart or something, you kind of think of a light gray, or maybe, let's see what this cyan looks like. I believe that's how you pronounce that color. Would that look cool as floors, or is that kind of too, I think it's kind of too bluish. If it was a little bit lighter hue of blue, maybe this right here, light blue, actually. That is kind of an interesting color, actually. I'm wondering, would that work? Let's see. I kind of have to see it from a top-down view, I should say. I don't know. It's not really something that I love. That's ice. Are there any other options? This kind of looks interesting. Light blue stained clay. Or maybe something like this, like light gray. That's kind of interesting. It's a little dullish looking, but I think that's actually pretty interesting. Right there. I was going to do wood at first, but then I thought, if I make the shelves out of wood, it's going to be like way too much kind of the same patterns going out, which would look really ugly. So I kind of strayed away from that because of that. I kind of want to check out this also. I kind of like this clay. It's definitely an interesting color choice. But I also want to see this light purple. Because I don't want it to be like super duper uber dark, right? Let's just real quick time set 0. I want to see what it looks like in the light. Okay, I kind of like this purple a little better than this. So I think that's what we're going to go with. We're going to have our floors that... Well, never mind. Now that I see it in the light, I kind of like this clay. I do like the clay color. And I think it works a little better with the walls, right? It's not quite as aggressive of a contrast color to the actual walls. It works well with that brick pattern. So that's what we're going to go with. This is going to be our floors, which is pretty bows. Pretty bows. And of course, we got to... Because we've got two different entrances and two different exits, we also are going to need to consider and take into consideration, which is the same exact sentence, Blitzwinger, nice redundancy for the win. But of course, what I need to consider is the fact that we're going to need to have cashiers on both sides. So that adds a little bit of extra work, but we will get it all done, of course, and it's going to look fantastic, hopefully, once we get it all worked out and decided on all our patterns and colors and decisions and all that good stuff. And of course, don't forget, we can also lay carpets on certain areas to add a little bit of a extra factor. Like, for example, on the entranceways, I definitely want to, in fact, I think that that would look cool. Are the carpets here? Yep, there they are. So we would take something like this, and maybe even like this, and then test these out to kind of have, you know how at the entrance to a store, usually they even have this, so maybe something like that, or maybe let's see what the gray carpet looks like. No, I think the gray looks kind of ugly-ish. So we would have this going along, right? Like so at the entrances. Boom, 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 boom. And the reason why I'm showing a little bit of everything on this episode is because I'm definitely going to try to do a bit of work in between episodes. But the one thing that some people asked me about and kind of said that they didn't want to see again is on the mansion. You guys said that I did a little too much in between recordings, and you kind of wish that you would have got to see some of that. So apologies for that, and that's why, again, I always read your comments and I always listen to you guys, and that's why I told myself that this time around, I'm going to make sure to actually showcase more of the stuff. So, for example, what I'll focus on in between recordings is kind of very non-design stuff, like just getting the walls done, for example, you know what I mean, or getting a lot of the floor done or something like that, to where it's not something that is particularly influential to the design. So I think that you guys would not mind if I did something along those lines. But then again, if you do mind, let me know in the comment section below. And again, before recording the next episode, I of course will read all your awesome comments, and we'll take those different suggestions into consideration. So there we goes. Alright, so here we are. So this is going to be kind of the entrance ways, right? And then you kind of just walk right into the store. We've got our floor here, looking pretty boss. So this is probably right around where the cashiers are going to be, or at least the first set of cashiers. We're going to have some on the other side as well. Probably far fewer, just because, again, there are 5 exits, 5 doors, or 5 sets of doors, I should say, on this side versus just one set on the other side. So that makes sense that this side would be far busier, which means that, hey, you put more cashiers or in cash registers around here instead of where you had it before. So the way we should do it is probably have a little bit of room, right, to just go into the store. And then I kind of want to have this guarded off section, which will kind of work into where the cash registers go, right? So we'll kind of have this area be where the cash registers are. And this is where you just kind of walk in and go into the store. So that's kind of the separatism, I guess, between those, or separators, I should say, between those areas. So then down here, we're of course going to also have our floor already, because, hey, you've already walked into the store. I'm going to go ahead and lay some carpet here as well upon the entrance. And of course also, why not put up some nice little guardrails, or at least little, what are they called, fences to act as guardrails, I guess. Now right here in these little curvatures, I was kind of thinking when I was assembling the shape, I was like, okay, that was a little bit of a weird choice, because what am I going to put here? It's kind of an odd looking thing, but I thought maybe we could have like a little sitting area. And also, you know how a lot of these a lot of like Walmarts and a lot of other big stores like Costco and stuff, they have kind of like food areas. So we're not going to have like a giant food court, that's not a word, food court, but we might have like a little snack area just for people to kind of hang out. So that's kind of what I was thinking to do on both of these sides, almost kind of like a small little fast food stop on this side, and maybe, I don't know, just a little relaxing area where you get to wait while, let's say, just kids could hang out while they're waiting for mom to finish doing her groceries or something like that, you know? So that's the idea behind that. So overall, we're definitely starting to get some good momentum done, and slowly but surely, we're definitely going to put this sucker together. But that being said, there you have it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this particular episode of Blitzcraft right here. Sorry, Blitzcraft. What am I talking about? Blitz Village. Goodness gracious, I apologize for that. But of course, if you guys enjoyed this episode, give it a like, rating, share the videos with your family and friends, and of course, favorite the videos as well. Do not forget, most importantly, to leave your awesome suggestions in the comment section below. And of course, also, do not forget to send me some awesome submissions for Blitz Village at twitter.com/blitzwinger. I will try to feature each and every single one of you, as I always say, at least once. Alrighty, guys, have a fantastic day. Thanks all for watching another episode of the Blitz Village. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and see ya later. I'm sorry if you hear sirens.